This is the East Daily Download. This is the East Daily Download. This is the East Daily Download. That's right. This is the East Daily Download.
So let's get started.
Welcome to the show today, guys. I'm Anissa Sakile, and I'm your host for the day. So yesterday, you all know we were around uptown just admiring the beautiful murals and public art displayed around town. Today, we're in the same area, but we're celebrating National Drink a Beer Day. So according to nationaltoday.com, a lot of people won't have objections to this because 1/3 of people surveyed are already choosing beer as their number one drink when they go to a bar with friends. And I gotta say, I'm definitely that girl. But a lot of beers are credited back to Germany in the 1600s. During that time, beers were only able to be stored in caves to keep them cooler. Now, fast forward to today, German and English style beers are still really popular, but 67% of the people surveyed prefer American beers over imported ones. They also say that, according to National Today, one of the best ways to celebrate, and I'm sure you can guess with Pitch Street right behind me here, is to go to your favorite brewery and order a flight. So I am getting a little hungry. It's getting around lunchtime for me. Pitch Street offers things like nuts, trail mix. They also have charcuterie boards occasionally, but I'm a little hungrier than that. On weekends, food trucks come by, and although summer is over, we can still taste summer with Prevail food trucks. So I'm ready to head to Pitch Street, get my flight, grab a bite from Prevail, and it's time to check in with owners Matt and Shayna for today's Down Eats. Let's take a look.
Now downloading Down Eats.
I'm Matt Cole. I'm the owner of Prevail Food Truck, 1946 Chevy. This is my wife.
Shayna Cole. Mahalo, y'all.
Well, the food truck, it used to be a fire truck. It's a 1946 Chevy fire truck, and we've restored it, everything from under the hood, and it put a full-size commercial kitchen on the back of the truck.
Prevail, was kind of an easy name to pick for us. Actually, achieving one's dream sometime is a pursuit to overcome all obstacles, and that is exactly what our name means. It means to prevail, overcome all obstacles, and this truck was really a feat to acquire, and it's really unique and really special, so that in and of itself was definitely a challenge.
Well, I used to work for Roy Yamaguchi down in Naples, Florida at his restaurant in Roy's, 3 times James Beard Award winner, and worked for him for a couple of years as chef's cuisine, and I really fell in love with the culture and the people, and I really wanted to take some of the flavors and the techniques of Hawaiian cuisine and mix it, a fusion if you will, with Eastern North Carolina. So a lot of times I'll use pork belly, which is Eastern North Carolina, mix it with teriyaki or what have you, and just kind of mix the two, and here comes Prevail. Malasadas are another popular dish we do here at Prevail. They are basically a cousin to a beignet. They're super popular in Hawaii, so they're basically, they're a nice pillow. We top it with caramel, chocolate, and toasted coconut, and cinnamon and sugar. Traditionally, if you go to Hawaii, they'll serve them with a little bit of sugar, and that's pretty much it. Still delicious, but we wanted to give a little bit of the island, of the sweet island here in Greenville, North Carolina as well.
So each week we post our menu as well as our location. We do have other locations other than Local Oak, and we do also provide catering. So if you would like your lunch catered for your office or any sort of establishment, we can bring the truck, or we can also box up your meals and bring them to you. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram at Prevail Food Truck.
Reach out if you have any questions. Email, text is always best. Thank you very much. Mahalo, my friends.
We're starting off today's fun facts with this information here. Did you all know that nationaltoday.com names Massachusetts as the state with the most beer-loving residents? They have 51% of people surveyed that said they love a good cold beer. Now, Missouri comes in a close second place with 50% of their residents claiming to be beer lovers. And then Wisconsin is in third place with 49% of proclaimed beer lovers. And I'm sorry, guys, North Carolina just did not make the top 10. Welcome back to the East Daily Download. So now I'm inside of Pitt Street celebrating National Drink a Beer Day, and the first thing I wanted to do was get a flight, because when it comes to beer, we've got a lot of different options, and don't you guys want to enjoy some variety with it? But for this flight today, we had a couple of sours released at Pitt Street, and so I wanted to stick true to my favorite style sours. So at Pitt Street, you can order flights with almost any beer that you like up on the board. I went with the Bloodlust, the Melodic Blue, the Kettle Sour Goza, and the Coffee Kettle Sour, which is actually brewed with locally Black Beer's coffee. So after the lunch I had, these are the perfect way to kind of wash everything down and get going with the next part of my day. And you guys know that if we're going to be drinking a lot of beer, we're celebrating National Drink a Beer Day, and who's really going to stop with just one? If you're going to be eating a lot of heavy foods, then we need to make sure that we're staying healthy. So we're going to check in with Greene County Healthcare and really make sure that you're knowing different signs to check in with you, your kids, your body, and just making sure that everything's staying good. So let's check it out.
The East Daily Download is sponsored this week by the following.
My name is Dr. Cassie Johnson, and I'm a family medicine and primary care sports medicine physician here at the James D. Bernstein Community Health Center. August is here, and believe it or not, that means school sports are starting. In my practice, I talk with parents and children about the importance of sports. Playing sports is a good way to do that, to stay active and healthy. We make our own decisions as adults, but our children look really to us to help them make good choices. So today, I want to share with you 5 of my fast and hard rules for playing sports and how to keep your children healthy. 1, make sure your child gets a preseason physical. If they're not healthy before they play sports, then they have a higher chance of injury. And once your child starts playing sports, encourage them to be honest and open with you about any pain or discomfort that they have, because treating an injury early is very essential. 2, talk to your child about sports that they enjoy playing and allow them to play more than one sport. The bodies of young athletes are in the process of growing and developing, so if they focus solely on one aspect of a game and they're constantly putting stress on those muscles and those joints, it can be harmful. But if they play baseball and basketball, for example, they're getting much needed exercise and they're not overstressing any one muscle or muscle groups. 3, stress the importance of preparing their bodies to perform. You wouldn't expect your car to start right up and run without gas and oil. So a person's body, especially a young child, won't perform at its best level if you don't warm up, cool down, hydrate well, and eat a balanced diet. 4, emphasize always following proper form with each sport. Young football players need to know how to tackle correctly, and football and baseball players need to know how to catch and throw balls correctly. Doing it incorrectly just one time could result in an injury. 5, make sure your child has the appropriate sports equipment for what sport they are playing. For instance, in baseball and football, it's important that the child is wearing a helmet to protect their heads from serious and lifelong injury. And if your child is hurt, make sure he or she follows up with the guidelines for recovery. This is especially important for concussions because they can have long-term effects if not treated correctly initially. Sports are a great way to stay happy and healthy. Just make sure your child plays safely. We look forward to serving you and all your healthcare needs.
The East Daily Download is sponsored this week by the following.
So it's time for another fun fact, you guys. As you know, I told you a little bit earlier, about 36% of people, when they're out with their friends at the bar, they're ordering a beer for their #1 choice. But the drinks that come a little bit behind that is a margarita at 17%. People get excited about margaritas, but not quite as many that are excited about beer. And then the third at 13% would be people ordering wine. And you are able to get wine at Pitt Street as well. Welcome back to the show, you guys. I'm Anissa Sakile, and we're here at Pitt Street Brewing Company for the East Daily Download. So as you all know, or many people are aware, the craft brewing industry is a male-dominated industry. A survey done at Stanford University shows that about 17% of breweries have at least one female CEO, but then only 4% of those surveyed actually have a head female brewmaster. And so Pitt Street Brewing Company did its part earlier this year to try to give women the same experiences that men have in this industry. For International Women's Collaborative Brew Day, all of the female employees at Pitt Street got together and brewed, then known as the Fat Men in the Bathtub, now known as the Baddies in the Bathtub Belgian wit beer. So from adding the coriander to the orange peel, the hops, and even sorted through the grains, the female employees here did it all. So I'm excited to talk with taproom manager Marianne Ricks on why it was important for them to be involved in this process and initiative. Cheers to the baddies. So now we are inside of Pitt Street Brewing Company. I'm joined by Marianne Ricks, the taproom manager here. Marianne, could you tell me a little bit about what's going on in the brew house today?
So today is International Collaboration Women's Brew Day. So we are going to have all of our wonderful women who work at Pitt Street together to brew a beer. And then we've invited all the significant others of our brewers and our bartenders to come and hang out with us and brew a beer together today.
Oh, that's really important. I know that one of the things I was looking up, this is obviously a really male-dominated industry, so
yes.
Just why is it important to have the ladies here today and just get that going?
So yeah, it's definitely important to shine a light on some of the things that we have in a male-dominated industry. We have a lot of wonderful women who work here, multi-talented women, obviously. So we just want to highlight some of the things that they bring to the table, as well as their ability to brew with everybody else.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to really try something new today. I'm pretty new to the industry, but then also I've never been back there to really get something going, so it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be awesome.
Now, I know that you all have something else called a service series. So different ladies, they might have been able to brew before. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yep, so our server series gives our bartenders an opportunity to brew their own beer, kind of come up with basically their dream beer, what they would love to drink on a weekend or something. And then the brewers put together a recipe that helps them execute that beer, and then they come in and really early in the morning and they get to brew that beer with the brewers. Mm-hmm. So they go through basically weighing out grain. They'll start the boil, they'll do everything.
Wow. So from start to finish. Basically.
From start to finish, and then that's all in one day, and then they'll come back in and kind of taste the beer as it gets ready, and then they can make adjustments as it goes along.
I'm excited for that part for sure. And then anything else that you want to add about today? Oh, have you all done this before? Is this kind of like the first year, or have you done this previously?
This is our first year doing it. We have more women in our brewery than ever, and we just really wanted to take the time to do it this year.
Excellent. I'm so excited. Well, thank you so much, Marianne, for joining me.
Some may find it a little awkward, but wearing a mask can save lives. And to others, it might seem a bit unnatural, but wearing a mask shows you care about everyone's health. When we mask up together, we protect each other. So come on, mask up.
It's time for another fun fact. Did you guys know that there are 3 things that are considered to be the enemy of beer? So one of those things is heat, another one of those things is light, and another one of those things is oxygen. But I don't know, you might be at home thinking, are you leaving something out? Is there something else? And there is. This can be considered a trick question. Time is also an enemy of beer, but it kind of affects all 3 things mentioned. So keep that in mind there. And I know this can be considered a trick question, but it's a fun fact no less.
Hello friends, I'm Chris. This is On the Record. I have Shotgun Willie today by Willie Nelson, Great Outlaw Country. Favorite thing about this album is actually from a TV show that played the title track one time. The TV show is about people who are on a desert island, or maybe they're not, and they're the opposite of found. So in the episode, they're playing the song Shotgun Willie, and it's a nice little montage, and then there's an explosion, and then the rest of the episode goes into, normal territory. But it's a great little moment for a great little song from a great little album. So if you ever get a chance, check out Shotgun Willie by Willie Nelson. So until next time, keep spinning those records, and we'll see you then.
Wow, Chris's On the Record segments really make me wish I had a record player. Something about being able to enjoy the music in the same way that the artist intended during that time really speaks to me. And Chris is so knowledgeable about all of his favorite records. So you guys know that we're celebrating National Drink a Beer Day. And according to nationaltoday.com, Of course, you can enjoy a cold one with your dinner, but it's really a good opportunity to just invite friends over and have a good time. Because as they say, if you have a beer, you're gonna have a good time. So if you're inviting friends over, one of the best things could be to order to-go beers from a brewery like Pitt Street. So Pitt Street offers crowlers in 32 ounces. You can get any beer you want to go. 64-ounce growlers and 32-ounce growlers have certain restrictions on the beers that you can get, but you just come up to the bar and they'll let you know which ones are qualified. So basically, I'm telling you, there's no wrong way to celebrate unless you don't pick up a beer at all. So I'm Anissa Sakile with the East Daily Download. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure to stick around for tomorrow's episode where we're kind of flashing back to some of our favorite shows. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Cheers.
The East Daily Download is sponsored this week by the following. Closed captioning for the East Daily Download is sponsored by Hearing Life.